If there's anything I love more than fresh flowers, it's paper flowers. They are so much fun to use as party decorations or decorations on your gifts and any project that you're working on. And they're better than fresh flowers because you can customize the color and the shape, and they're going to last a lot longer than those fresh blooms from your garden. So let me show you how to recreate this flower on this darling gift bag using our Bouquet Bigz die. This is the die. And I cut out some of the shapes ahead of time to give you a closer look at them since they're so hard to see. You can see that you get multiple flower petal shapes, you get some leaves. This piece and this piece make gorgeous centers to your flowers. This one would be good for grass, or you can use it to make a chrysanthemum type flower. So lots of different options and ways to be creative. But for the flower I want to show you, I'm going to use these two petals. We'll use the larger petal for the outside and the smaller petal for the inside. So to begin with, we'll cut out those petals using the Big Shot. Since this is a steel rule die, you can use multiple sheets of paper, cut them all out at once, and you can also try other materials. I'm using designer series paper, but you could use fabric or foam or whatever you want to give a try. The one thing you want to be sure of as you cut it out is to the side that you want on the outside of your paper, the right side, the outside of your flower, you'll want to put that towards the die. And then cut those out, so you'll end up, I'm cut out 10 of the larger petal and then 10 of the, or actually you only need 8 of the smaller petal to make this flower. And if you're careful, you should be able to get all of those out of one sheet of designer series paper. Okay, now we can begin to construct our flower. We're going to shape the petals first. So to do that, I'm going to take my bone folder and kind of give these petals some life. Just curl the edges a little bit. In nature, no flower petal is going to lay completely flat, so we want to give these a little bit of shape and a little bit of life. This also breaks down the fibers in the paper and makes it more pliable and easy to work with. Now the die cuts a little notch in the bottom of the petal, and you're just going to overlap that a little bit. For the outer ring of the flower, you want your petals to lay pretty flat, but as you get closer to the center, you're going to overlap it even more so the petals stand up a little bit. So since this one's going to go on the outer ring, I just want to gently overlap the tab at the bottom. And I found a glue gun works best to adhere, so I've just gently overlapping that to give my petals some shape. Make sure you use the silicone craft sheet so you don't get glue on your crafting surface. And you'll do this with all of the petals that you've cut out. You'll need 5 for the outer ring, and then you'll need 5 for the second layer. And like I mentioned, the second layer we're going to overlap a little bit more so the petal stands up a little bit more. Now once you have this done with all of your petals, you'll want to start making each ring. So you just, using your glue gun, overlap the petals like this and start to construct your flower. Now the outer ring has 5 petals, the second one has 5 petals, and then the 2 layers with the smaller petals just have 4 petals. I'll show you each of those in a minute. So you get the idea of how to layer those petals together. And once you do that with all of your layers, this is what I have. That's my outer ring with the petals laying kind of flat. That's the second layer where they're standing up a little bit more. And then I did 2 layers with the smaller petal, a little bit flat and then standing up a little bit more. So we're just going to layer all of these together, and instead of putting the petals so they line up exactly, I'm going to offset those just so we get even more depth and dimension to our flower. And then one more. Isn't that quick and easy? But a gorgeous dimensional flower. Now to do the center of the flower, we've used this piece from the die. And you just kind of pinch the middles together to get them to kind of gather. And then put a little bit of glue and adhere it to the center of your flower. And you'll just keep going till you get the fullness that you desire. I think there are probably 12, around 10 to 12 different shapes in the center of that one because I wanted it to look really full. So you can see how fun that is. And using these same flower making techniques, you can do all different types of sizes and flowers of shapes, all different types of shapes and sizes of flowers. Here's another sample where you can see some of the smaller and different shaped petals. Look how beautiful they look on this gift box. So I hope you have fun experimenting with the bouquet die. There are so many different things you can do and experiment with as you start making paper flowers.